Once upon a time in the 16th century, in a small village in England, there was a woman named Margaret Moore who was known as the Witch of Eye. She was said to have supernatural powers and practiced black magic, which terrified the villagers. One day, a group of villagers came to the local magistrate and accused Margaret Moore of causing harm to their livestock and crops. They claimed that she had cast a spell on them and demanded that she be put on trial for witchcraft. Margaret was taken to the court, and the trial began. She was accused of having a pact with the devil, using magical powers to harm the villagers and causing misfortunes in the village. She pleaded her innocence, but the evidence against her was overwhelming. The court found her guilty of witchcraft, and she was sentenced to death by hanging. Margaret was devastated and pleaded with the villagers and the court to reconsider their decision, but to no avail. On the day of her execution, Margaret was taken to the gallows. The villagers had gathered to witness her punishment. As she stood on the gallows, Margaret looked towards the sky and whispered a prayer. Suddenly, a flock of crows appeared in the sky and began to circle around her. The villagers were terrified and believed that this was a sign of the devil's presence. Margaret, however, saw it as a sign of her innocence and a message from the heavens. With tears in her eyes, she smiled and said, "I am innocent, and I will be judged by a higher power." The crows continued to circle around her, and as the executioner pulled the lever, Margaret's body fell, and the crows dispersed. The villagers were left in shock and disbelief. From that day on, the villagers realized the grave mistake they had made and regretted the injustice they had committed against Margaret Moore. The Witch of Eye became a symbol of persecution and a reminder of the dangers of superstition and fear.